Yo, guys, what's
Oh,
up?
it didn't
What's
work.
up?
It just took a picture of me looking at
They didn't hold it long enough.
Yeah, I don't have magic touch.
Magic touch.
Hey, everybody. Nobody's here. I'm going to add this to my thing.
Let's see.
Give it a little share.
Yeah.
Oh, Trisha's here. Hi, Trisha.
Trisha, what's up? What's up?
Trisha and I were Marco Poloing this morning.
You were?
Yeah, you got to get in on the Marco Polo.
Oh, yeah. I think you sent me.
I did send it to you. It's awesome. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I saw the text. Why isn't it coming through? So I'm going to Bloodline.
Don't go to Bloodline. Didn't you get a notification? Click your little bell. Just click the bell.
No.
Then go to Bloodline.
Thanks, Tips.
You're welcome, boo. That's what I'm here for. Hello. We have people here. Say hi.
Hey, guys. Joseph.
We're trying to share this to our personal page.
Marcella, hello.
We could you could do group Marco Polo. Ooh, very exciting.
Here we go, I found it. Sorry, guys. I'm freaking trying to
We're back. Yes, we're trying to share. So feel free to join us if you'd like to share this out so we can get, this show into the hands of as many people as possible. Go ahead and just hit that little share button. Cool. And I need your phone too so I can see.
Sweet.
Just leave it.
Absolutely.
You got it? Yep, I'm good. Okay.
So,
it's been a long time.
Yes. Morning, Joseph.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I'm back. You're back.
So I actually have to talk to Alex here. I know we've been going back and forth there. All the events going on. There's so many events right now.
Can you guys hear us okay? Just give us a like if you can hear, or just comment. Let us know you can hear us.
Clearly and all that stuff.
Yes.
Pretty eventful last couple of weeks.
I would say so.
Crazy.
It feels like, I think it's been like a month at this point.
Yeah. It's been wild. It's been fun. It's been fun.
Mostly fun for me.
Well, yeah. It's been, I guess that depending on who you ask.
Yes. You've been out on the road. So I've been solo parenting.
Yes.
Quite a bit.
How does that feel?
Feels great.
Perfect segue into how is it with the kids? How have you been doing with the kids?
I'm doing great with the kids. They love me.
They do love you.
But let me tell you, now that daddy's home, I'm like dead to them. They're like, daddy. And I'm like, bye. See you later. I'm good with that.
It is fun how they're like getting into that now, because before they weren't like that. Like, I remember a time when I come home.
Yeah, they didn't care.
Naomi, she'd like could care less, or just she'd keep doing that hard to get thing. And now, like when I come home or when I was leaving, that sucked. When I was leaving, she started crying.
Yeah, she wasn't happy with you. You were leaving so much that
I know. That last time I was crying, was the USHL thing. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
She gets all like that face.
I know.
That sucked.
And then 5 seconds later, she's like, "So what's that over there?"
Yeah,
no, I'm
exactly.
just kidding. No, she was bummed about that one.
No, she was bummed.
Hey, Katerina, how are you?
Michael, what's up? What's up, buddy?
How is life in Florida?
Yeah, life in Florida's good.
Yeah.
Naples was sick. Naples, wow, unbelievable. Sunsets there, holy cow.
I wouldn't know. I've never been there.
Yeah. At college coaches, that was cool. The college coaches convention, that was fun.
Yeah.
Talk to them. We're going to be announcing it soon. Got our first Division I school.
Yep.
Bring it out for
give some likes and loves to that, folks.
President's Day. Very excited to start doing that and actually have another one. Yeah, pumped about that. It's going to be exciting to start getting into that realm, and that the message, right, from a mindset perspective, that it's actually a part of. I mean, it's a big. That's a part that people don't realize that are out there, right? Of how much mindset development is such a huge piece in NHL, Division I, major, junior. Like, people are starting to realize it's important, and I think people are starting to get over the whole stigma of that it's only if you're messed up, if there's something wrong with you. I think that's probably what the difference is, right? There's mental health, right, that has its own little sect thing, and then there's the mindset piece where it's understanding, like in today's game, just like you train your muscles, you have to know what your identity is going in, or there's no way to adapt. There's no way to hold yourself accountable. There's just no way to do it if you don't have this skill set underneath your belt.
Well, I would apply that long past sports.
Yeah.
I mean, if you truly want to be, successful in business, or, no matter what it is that you do, the same tools apply.
100%.
It's just, science is awesome.
Mhm.
And what we're learning about the human brain and how it works, and how, obviously the brain is a muscle, right? So how we train our brain, regardless of whether it's sports or whatever, affects the outcome of what we're doing.
Exactly.
And it is something that requires effort. It's not, nothing's hard, but it requires training. And then when you apply it to like a performance standpoint,
100%. It's crazy how there's no difference between mindset development and strength and conditioning. It's literally the same thing.
You're just focused on one muscle.
Right. And strength and conditioning, you're focused on movement, your mobility, your force production that you have, that physical element is more in the process, versus in mindset, it's more the mental element of just, what am I committing to, right? What do I know I can consistently do and know? Right? Everyone sits there about confidence and consistency and these buzzwords, and it's like, here it is laid out for players of, this is how it works. Coach Dan, what's up, brother? Good to see you, buddy. Good stuff. So parental influence, unreal topic. It's been this morning, getting right into it this morning, of talking about some different stories of talking to a few buddies of mine. And we're talking about from a coach's perspective of how tryouts we're going through, and how much here's scenarios where, again, coaches are being straight up honest with the player. Here's where I see you. And here was parents, once again, not happy with, I don't want to hear that honesty. I don't like, so in this particular situation, might as well just segue into that part.
Yeah, sure.
In this situation, what was going on was, here was a tryout, right? And here they were, looking from a goaltender's perspective. They're, picking goalies. And I know goalies, it's a lot, tougher on that. Jen, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, brother. Morning. No, what's up, buddy? So that's the part, right, where here we are in tryout, and these coaches were getting ready to go to a big event, and so a parent comes in with their child, with their goalie, and they come in for a skate, and after the skate, my buddies are straight up honest. They say, hey, I need to go to this other big event. When I come back, we could talk then and all that stuff, and then I'll give you an answer. What do you mean you can't give me an answer right now? No, I can't get. And basically what the parent wanted was a guarantee. I want to give me a guarantee of where you see my kid, and give me a guarantee where my kid's going to play.
So the coach had to go to an event.
The coach had to go to a major event. Yeah.
Are you glad I'm back?
I kind of don't want to get into too much of I don't want to get away.
No, but I didn't understand. No, I don't want any of that.
No, the coach had to go to a major
event.
event.
If the player had to go somewhere, I wasn't.
No, the player came in for a skate before the coach left for a big event, and the coach was going to a big event 2 days from that point.
That makes sense.
And the parent wanted a guarantee, and the coach was like, listen, my mind is elsewhere right now. I can't give you a guarantee right now, but let's revisit after I come back from the weekend. So that we'll talk. And the parent got so upset and completely dismissed and just said, I don't like that. And it's like, okay. And we're talking about a top team in the country. This isn't some schmoey team situation. I don't like that. You're talking about, you want to play on one of the best teams out there. And so it's fascinating how this parent couldn't wait for a weekend, where this coach, the language the influence, right? The way this parent talked to this coach, the coach got turned off instantly. And it was like, listen, you want to come on, you want an opportunity to play on our team, but that's how you want to do a transaction, right? Because right now we're not actually involved with each other yet, right? We're just playing tennis. We're talking to each other. We're getting to know each other. We're feeling each other out. You're leaving this imprint on me now about how, okay, I don't want to deal with you.
Right. This is a precursor to what I'm going to do.
This is showing me who you think you're above the team, or you think you want something else, where all I'm saying is, give me 5 more days. We'll come back and we'll talk and revisit, but you need to know now. Okay, if you need to know now, you're now making me feel like I can't trust something about this relationship. Right. It's kind of weird of what you're doing, because I want an open-minded parent. I want somebody that's not pressuring me.
For sure.
And that's the part where
I see all sides of this.
No, 100%.
I can totally
understand the parents' view.
Yes.
Totally get it, right? Yeah, because you get used to it, especially as a younger player. That's very good.
Right.
We program parents to think, we guarantee. All those years when they're younger, when you're the best, everyone's throwing guarantees at you. Guarantee you're going to play this much. Everyone's doing it at the younger levels. But then when they start to get to higher level stuff, it changes, because now there's a lot of players that want to play on the top teams, And now the parents aren't like, they're like, whoa, what happened to my guarantees that I was used to unconsciously all these years?
Right, of course.
And I get it. I totally get it. It's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough.
I can sympathize with all of it because, I mean, specifically too for a goalie, like, you know, spots are way fewer.
100%.
You know, and I'm not going to get into it, but also the whole idea of when tryouts are is crazy because if tryouts really were right before the season, let's say, like even August, right?
Exactly.
Then those types of scenarios where you only have like a week
exactly.
or 10 days to figure it out. And I know juniors is very different. But it's the system is kind of
it's what happened with the system, right? At the end of the day, the rinks need to make money. Rinks need to make money, organizations need to make money. It kind of fell into that portion of it because it was like, well, if all these other programs are doing this now, we have to follow suit, and everyone kind of just falls in line. That's just human nature, right?
Absolutely.
Well, if they're doing it, we got to do it to keep up. Parents want this, and parents influence, right?
So what's a parent to do?
In
those tough situations where you want to advocate for your kid because you're maybe, I mean, in that, I don't even know who you're talking about. So like as a goalie, maybe, or any player, maybe you were in a situation where someone came off as a coach that they were going to, you know, hey, we're going to talk about it. We're going to get through it. And then coaches aren't the only ones getting burned, I guess I'm saying. So like,
of course.
We all get burned in the system. And how do we kind of,
I think the biggest part, and again, this is all relative to as a parent coming up today, of if you're dealing with any high-end situation, right, that you're trying to, if you're in that realm of you're using the game in a way where you're trying to put your kid into an environment where trying to get the best out of you, very competitive, all that stuff, this is more of what it is. The first thing you have to accept is that this is a profession, this is a business. I think that's the first thing you have to accept, right? It's not the rules of, I can just walk in and say, my kid's amazing, and that's it. Because at the higher levels, there's a lot of amazing kids and there's a lot of amazing families. So it's understanding rule number one is that it is a business and how you behave, right? Just like if you're at work, you know there's certain things you're not going to do and behave certain ways because in a professional environment, it's not good to be perceived in certain ways.
So where's the A? Sorry, because clearly I'm type A.
Yeah, by midgets. By midgets. Yeah, U15. You know, U16 by midgets. Like you're now moving into the realm of, hey, how to conduct yourself, what you're doing. You're now getting judged in a certain way, right? It could be anywhere from that U14, U15. It's basically when you start to go into what's in hockey midget, U16, U15, high school.
But if you're hypersensitive prior to that, you have plenty of room in your
you can make mistakes.
To
you can do stuff,
not have it be such like life or death kind of intensity.
Yes. Okay. But the faster, and that's a great point the faster you can accept that this is a business. At the end of the day, like if anyone that's listening, that if you're looking to move on, like this was a great thing that was a lot of fun to bring up. I won't say this. Dawn, what's up? Matt, how you doing? Kenny, how you doing? Danielle. One of the things that's important that I brought up at the USHL Combine, right? Like one of my biggest issues coming up, a misconception that I had, right, was that I told the story of how when me and Kimmer, we were driving one of the times with one of the guys I was playing with and my buddies, and we're sitting there, and I'll never forget how we're driving in the car, and we're coming back, and this was a season where, you know, I had played that season, 79 of 80 regular season games. I gave everything I had for this coach, all that stuff, and playoffs come around, and I get benched. I get benched for 5 games. No idea why. Marty, if you're listening at some point, you know, maybe you'll actually tell me one day. And no idea why, right? Still to this day, no idea why. But
how well did you take that?
Yeah, exactly. And it was like at that time, what ended up happening was what hit me at that time was, you know, we're going back from practice. And I just remember looking over at Kim and I go, it's nothing but a business. And I'm in the passenger side and he's driving. And I'm like, it's nothing but a business. That's all this is. It's nothing but a business.
I can so see you in that zone.
And as he's driving, he just looks over at me and he's just like, are you seriously just figuring that out? And it's like 7 years into, you know, my pro career and all that stuff. And he just looks at me like, are you an idiot? Like you're just 7 years in.
I ask myself that question every day.
You're just realizing it's a business. And so at the time, what happened for me was I looked at the notion of the word business as it's a business, and I saw it as a negative. And what I explained at the USHL Combine was that I brought up, and I was like, what I didn't understand at the time was it had nothing to do with that it was a business, because it is a business. What I didn't realize was it's a profession. I didn't understand the words, switch in my head of no, it's about becoming a professional. If you want to play in this game, you are in the game of becoming a professional. So it doesn't matter. It wasn't about just being a good kid or playing hockey anymore. It wasn't about it. The rules were different.
Right.
And that's the part that we don't teach enough to younger players, that hockey is, in fact, teaching you how to become professional. That's what we love about it. When people say life skills, that's what's most important that I took away in terms of the life skills component. Aaron, what's up? What's up? He heard it, right? He heard the story on it. It was out there. And JW did a great job out there. But the whole point was to help parents and players and coaches, everyone needs to understand of what the reason I fell in love with the life skills component inside of the mindset performance piece of teaching the game and all that was that we are all becoming professionals. It doesn't matter who you are. The game is teaching all of us how to be professionals, AKA lifestyle. Everyone talks about it's about the lifestyle, right? It's about the process and all that stuff. Correct. And that's the part that we're being taught inside the game. You're being taught lifestyle habits. Are you eating correctly? Right? Are you putting the nutrition you need in your body to perform optimally? Are you resting enough? Are you getting enough so you can grow? Right? All that stuff. Everybody needs sleep. Right? So again, have a clear thought process.
Communicate with your teammates.
Right? Are you learning? What are you studying? Right? What knowledge are you putting in your head? What skills? What actions are you taking? Such as communication. The number one issue I have with all players, and I was talking about connection, and I was going to post about this connection. Right? What's the number one issue we deal with every one of our players? They struggle to go talk to their coaches. Why? Because there's this connection thing that's happening along the way as a professional, right? As we move through, the kids aren't being influenced, right? This is why parental influence, right? Coaching influence, adult influence. The kids aren't being influenced to understand, don't be scared of your coach. The reason the players are scared to go talk to coach is a reason. Where did it come from? It didn't just come out of thin air. It came from a real place of, why? Like, that's the question that I ask is, why are we so afraid to talk to our coach? Because I deal with this with all of our high performers. Again, we're talking about players right up to professional, Division I, USHL, North American League, Major Junior, CHL, all that. The top players all have this fear to go talk to their coach and express themselves clearly. They're afraid to do that. Yeah. Why?
Were you afraid when you were younger?
100%. I was scared shitless. Are you kidding me? Like,
I think that's the way society was at that time.
Right.
You didn't go talk to coach. Whatever teacher said, there was no discussion.
Exactly.
And I think years and years, and especially like kind of like the Hollywood aspect, right? What you see on TV, what you see in movies, and all of that, like it's become part of the fabric of our society. Right. And I think now I think that's kind of what's changing. Like through social media, through technology, we're all learning to communicate more. We all share whatever's on our mind, right? For better or for worse. Yeah. So the culture, the social culture overall is changing.
Oh yeah.
But it's going to take a long time before it changes in those situations.
Right, exactly.
Like it takes encouragement. And I guess it's funny, the one word I wrote down as we're talking about that story you were telling with parental influence and parental behavior and coaches is to me the fundamental missing link, what I call it, is communication. Yeah. We need to learn to talk to one another without being all angry.
In more ways than one.
1,000%.
It's not just verbal; it's body language communication.
Yes, but it's realizing, and this to me goes both ways. It's parents realizing, look, your kid's youth hockey coach is not like an NHL coach. They have another job. They're not, even if they are a full-time coach at some of the older levels, they're still human beings. Like you're still part of the same team. And if we could each kind of come together and speak both ways, coaches too, like stop writing off all the parents, right? That I think the generalization of it has kind of demonized the scenario.
That's why I fell in love with the mindset piece, right? Like one of the things I talked about at the events, right? The latest ones and some of the USHL combine stuff was that we brought up, like in the last one, especially with the younger players, I was like, the two biggest skills that you have to understand and you have to really accept, right, is the accountability and the adaptability. When I talk to all the high-level coaches, like this is the number one thing they say, adaptability. Oh my God, spot on. So we want to shed light on that word, right, as much as possible, because the context to that word, right, the subcontext There's so many different things that means to depending on what level the player's at, where they're at. But adaptability, accountability. Why did I fall in love with the mindset part? Bobby, what's up? What's up? Brandon, how you doing? Why did I fall in love with it is because the accountability piece becomes so easy with mindset development because you can't escape it. Like the what you're taught, the system, right, of how you learn about how your mind works unconsciously, the actions that you take day to day, the vision that you're creating for yourself, all these things that are a step-by-step part of mindset development completely sheds light on accountability. Like you now own and go, oh my God, this is how I behave. This is what I do. This is how I act. And now there's no way to go back. Like once Oz's curtain is opened up, the truth shall set you free. And it really is. It like the truth comes out. No, it's somewhere in there, Matrixy. But the truth comes out, and now accountability is a real skill where now you can actually use accountability to your advantage because now you know the essence of what it means. Because in essence, you own your shit. You finally realize, you know what? I own who I am. I own my behavior. I own my actions. I own my feelings. I own the things that I actually do. That's the first step, right? Because then when you can own who you are and you get who you are, now you can adapt to situations. Now you can decide, you know what? Do I want to go play on this team or not? Is this the right coach for me? Is this the right environment? Is this the right fit for me or not? Does this jive with my personality? Because I know how I am, right? This is no different than how when coaching gigs, right? I talk about my 3 rules all the time. But the reason I put those rules in place was because I know how I am. If I don't have control of certain parts, when the stress kicks in during the season, if I don't have those things, if I can't control personnel, if I can't control my staff, who I bring in, if I can't control the schedule, I know what that's going to lead to later on in the stress that I'm dealing with, where if I know that I didn't bring that stress upon myself and it was external from something else that somebody else pushed upon me, I know I'm going to handle that because accountability, I am going to hold you accountable because I told you from the get-go, this is what I needed. And now when things aren't working out the way you wanted it to, well, you can't be mad at me because I did tell you ahead of time what I needed and you chose not to take that. So I choose not to put myself in that position. But that's adaptability. You have to first be accountable and know who you are first. Yes. Then you can adapt and choose situations to go, that's a good one for me. That's not. Here's why it's not. You can articulate clearly why. Yes. But these are the biggest skills that you see from anyone that's professional. Right.
But I want to point out too, like I think you obviously have a long career playing, coaching, being involved. For parents out there, you may have a set of rules or whatever you would, but what I'm trying to say is you have to decide how non-negotiable are they, because what you believe to be true today and why you feel that way may not be where your child's career goes. And if you're holding on to an ideal that is no longer makes sense, or it's more of a protective layer rather than because whether it's fear or whatever it is, you want to really get raw with why it is you feel that way. Right, like exactly. You have to know the why, because otherwise you're setting yourself and your child up for an expectation that may actually stunt their growth. Exactly. You're trying to protect them by setting these things, all these non-negotiables in place. But I think as parents, we have to be mindful, is it our fear of, I don't want to see my kid get hurt. And I don't mean physically, obviously that's part of it, but I don't want to see them fail. I want to help them grow. And sometimes helping them do that is not putting up every single barrier to set up this fake environment almost. No, exactly. But I think it's important to point that out. Like you're really clear because you've been doing this for so long. For parents, maybe this is their first or second kid, right? Coming through the hospital system. You do need to have a little bit, you need your non-negotiables more to be on things that aren't necessarily almost hockey related. Yeah, like examples, right? And that's a great lead in there of examples would be, all right, if I want to optimize my ability, the lifestyle, right, of how to be a true professional at anything I do. Well, then easy stuff, nutrients. How at home, what kind of environment are we creating? So this is the leadership part, right? This is the part where parental influence, right, of understanding that if everyone knows what it takes for the most part when you're an adult to play at the highest levels of everything. Like no matter what you do, it doesn't matter what profession you're in, to be the best of the best, to really have a life behind it, there's certain parts that are non-negotiable. The first thing is how you eat. Like it's just nutrition, what you put in your body, right? What you feed it. Everyone and their mother knows. You just look around and everyone talks about it. It's not anything that's not known. But
are you looking at yourself as a parent and how you're influencing your child? Am I leading the ship? Am I leading by the choices that are put in the refrigerator? Am I leading by the things that I'm allowing, my kid to, I'm putting the environment around my kid of, this is what you're going to eat, this is what you're going to have. That's a non-negotiable. If you want to be a professional at anything and you want to sustain high energy, nutritionally, that's a simple one. What am I influencing at home, and what are we doing to make sure that my kid sees nutrition is important? If I want to live this lifestyle, if you want to be the best of the best, we know the best of the best. This is non-negotiable. This is a part of the lifestyle of what it is to sustain that type of environment. That's it. So that's something that's easy, that at home, yeah. Hey, if we're eating right, we're going to feel healthier. We're going to feel better we're going to feel clear. Like that's a simple thing. Again, simple in nature to understand, but complex to execute. And that's why the accountability and understanding the adaptability is so important, is because those are the skills that are going on. Sleeping, another one. And I see you want to say something.
No, because I do want to just point out that I think we can all relate to being in a situation where our parents were basically telling us, do as I say, not as I do.
100%.
And, it's not been so long that I can't remember how annoying that was.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you try to, say to your kids, like, oh, don't do that. But then they're watching you do it. Like, if you're telling your kid, like, oh, don't slam your stick or get mad. And then you're in the stands flipping out. Like, of course, I love leadership. I love how you said that, because it's so easy to say all this shit. And I'm not trying to say that it's easy, right? But even if you make one choice for yourself, right, of changing one thing, like going for a walk if you're not usually exercising, like the littlest thing kids pick up on of any age. Wow, all of a sudden mom's walking. Like,
a great example is, like I'll still have my, a trigger, right? And I get really angry and I get pissed off, and I might F-bomb or something like that.
You might F-bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you might F-bomb.
I might F-bomb.
Okay.
And
is that what we're calling it?
And that's what we're calling it these days.
We might
and Ryan, what's up, brother? But with Naomi, I'm always, and again, I'm trained, right, in it. So I'm very mindful of how I'm leading. And I right away, she knows, I'll have conversations with her like, hey, just because daddy reacts like that, it doesn't make it right. I'm working through it. I know that sometimes I get upset. I'm hungry. I'll explain to her of how I react, but I make sure she understands, hey, it's not the right way to react, right? You do know that. And she laughs at it. And so, but I know I'm getting ahead of it. She may not understand why I'm saying and what I'm doing it, but I'm getting ahead of it and trying to influence her to understand I'm accountable to my actions, knowing what I'm doing isn't the right way to react. Like, it's not the right thing to do, but I own it and know I'll apologize for it. I know that it's not, I shouldn't be acting that way.
I'm sorry, baby.
But just so you know, because I want her to know.
No, I think that's great.
And that's the part that I own how I act sometimes with that stuff, right?
Right.
But you have to be able to, again, accountability of, I'm not putting it on, wow, you did this and you pissed. No, it's, if I'm going to lead and my kids are going to get influenced and they're going to see how I act, I own all of it, right? So when I get in those situations where I act in a way that I don't want them to perceive that that's okay, I have to talk to them about it. I got to let them know. And that's my point from a leadership standpoint is I'm always working on that, to be mindful of that and understand, oh man, she saw that, or he's seeing that too, right? And just making sure he's a little parrot. All he does is whatever she does. He freaking does it. But I go right away to her and talk to her about it and go, it's not, because I know I want to understand that how I'm acting isn't the correct way. So I'm taking whatever actions I can take right now to do that. And I keep getting better at it. But she knows now. She knows that. And I can see she gets calmer and she's like, she'll chirp me sometimes. And it's fun. It's fun that she's 5 years old.
Yes.
And she knows, Daddy, she'll be acting. I'm like, you're right. And it's fun to smile. But she's understanding. It's coming together. So now as she gets older, she's going to understand those parts of the professional environment of, if she's involved in a team, she's involved. Sometimes people are just going to get pissed about stuff. Sometimes she's going to get upset, but we move on quick and just know, just because you see that reaction doesn't mean that's how I want to act. It's just sometimes a trigger, and that's okay, right? And that's the bigger picture part.
What do you guys think? Like, type in the comments for sure and let us know, like, what situations, as far as leadership as a parent, do you either have found successful or have you struggled with? Like, please share with us in the comments, because we'd love to hear where you guys are at in this journey. And I can only imagine what we'll be saying when she's like a teenager, because she's only 5 and it feels crazy.
Joel said they said overreact.
Yeah.
Question mark. I don't always saw that in.
maybe like overreact. Like when you overreact, that's when you're talking to Nene about your.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
More info?
It's
definitely overreacting when
yes.
you overreact to a 5-year-old. Yes.
Overreact to it.
Like if she's being 5, and that's a trigger for you.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. Oh yeah, that stuff. Oh yeah, all that stuff.
That's what I'm guessing. Because this popped in a little while ago. But are you gonna share the example of what happened at the?
Yeah, at the USHL Combine. This was interesting, and I put up a video about it. You guys ended up seeing it, but this was crazy. Like, so this was the first time that I had seen something like this happen in a presentation. So our presentations are, interactive, right? I want people to play for that feeling. And so I want them to understand if we're going to talk about these different parts of awareness, language, all these different parts. So I do different drills to get people to go, oh, so you can literally feel it, right? So you can feel that process and go, okay, I see where you're going with this, right? Play for that feeling. So here I am with, this was my 4th one, right, in the last month doing USHL stuff. So this was 4th one, last one that I had done. And this was the first time I'd ever seen this period in any presentation. So I go up, and on the first one, I start out the first drill that I have everyone get up for. I say, all right, guys, hey, let's everybody get up and let's go through this routine. Well, as I look up, I say, hey, let's get up, guys. We're going to do this thing, right? We do a fun little ole. We get everyone going to show them differences of what mindset means. And I look up, and literally there's about 20 to 25 parents that didn't stand up. They just sat there, arms crossed, and just sat there. And I look down and I go, hey guys, let's go. Let's jump up. I start, hey, come on. Like I start looking out at them and go, let's go. Come on. Let's get up. Everybody together. Let's feel this thing together. Let's get up. And as I look out there, and so a couple of them got up, but then the majority just sat there, just, started doing the old stairway and not looking at you. So
don't make eye contact.
Yeah, don't make eye contact, as if that changes it. And they just started doing that. It's like, okay, no, I'm not going to get up. I'm not going to participate.
They're too cool for school.
Yeah, whatever it was, right? Again, it was later in the day, so I think maybe people were traveling. So I'm sympathetic to that. I'm like, I get it. Of like, maybe there was that. But, when you have 15, 20 people, yes, some of them I can understand that. But the odds are more in the favor that half of them were just like,
I'd say more than half.
Yeah, but it's simple science, right? Yes. We're probably just like, I don't know what you have to say right now. Whatever, dude. I'm going to sit here. You do your thing.
I'm too cool for school.
Parental influence.
Yeah.
So there was a great video circulating. I probably should have grabbed that up, but there was a college coach, basketball college coach, actually talked about how what he would do was he'd sit in the stands, watch the game, and watch then afterwards how the player would interact with mom and dad. Because what basically this coach wanted to find out, and this is at high school, right? This college coach wanted to see, I wanted to see all these years of how are you interacting with your parents afterwards, because that tells me everything I need to know of how you interacted in your family circle for all those years. And I've got to figure out how much am I willing to take and undo when you come to my college for 4 years. Do I really want to invest that energy with you, or do I kind of look at it as, nah, you're going to be an issue, I can tell. And so that was the first thing that as I'm standing up and I'm seeing this happen, right, I literally wanted to switch gears midstream and go into a whole thing about that and go, like, it was funny, right? But as I'm watching this happen, I just, it's like everything's happening so fast, but in my mind, I'm thinking in my mind, like, I think about that basketball coach. I think about how many other coaches that I talk to, and I just think about, I'm like, wow, like, you don't understand what you're doing right now. Like, you don't understand how I'm looking out right now. And the first thing that goes to my head is, yeah, like, if you want to play at the USHL level, I'm going to look at you and go, interesting. That's how you act. First thing in my mind is going, are you the parent that's telling your child about, you know what, don't listen to your coach? Are you the parent telling your child out here, don't pass the puck? Hold on to the puck and do whatever you need to do. That's what these coaches want to see. They don't care about, that you're a good teammate or whatever, right? Those are things that unconsciously, right, in my filter as a professional, because this is what I do, right, day to day, is talk to all these coaches, see these situations with these high-level players. That's what my experience is. So I've got story after story after story to go off of, like you said, of where my unconscious is built up of, I know the road you're going down by how you're influencing your child right now. I know the road. I know, like, I just know it. I'm like, these are the things that you have to understand, that if I'm seeing it as a professional in the industry, others are looking at it as professionals and going, okay, so there's coaches there, there's assistant coaches, there's the commissioner of the league, there's scouts, And if they catch eyes with that parent sitting there, all they do is catch the eye of you and go down, who's your kid? And that's all it takes is that split second of who's your kid? And now that influence, no matter how you try to spin it, you're not looking and going, now there's a magnifying glass on your kid to see, does your kid act the same way? What issues character-wise are we dealing with this kid? It like instantly magnifies. So you're going to remember.
The seed of doubt.
Yes. You're going to instantly remember the kid. You're going to instantly go, instead of allowing the kid's performance to work for itself, you just instantly went parent, child. Okay, that's your child. Instantly now you're looking at the child and you're going, all right, now I'm wondering, do you have a character issue? Just like that.
Or how about the fact, like, so there's that whole side, and then I go to the side, like, your kid's so excited to be in that room, and then pops won't stand up. Oh.
Or mom.
But but like, what does that do even to the kid's psyche?
Yeah.
But like, not just like, it's just like, it kind of bursts his bubble a little bit. Like, oh, like I wanted to participate. Why aren't you participating? Like it just changes the dynamic for all kinds of situations. And I just want to point out that it's, I think we so often talk about communication and the words coming out of our mouths, but we forget that the majority of our communication is nonverbal.
Yeah.
It's body language. It's what we're doing. It's everything that our body is saying without words coming out.
Yeah.
And I actually remember like in college studying nonverbal communication because it's so that we're more reactive to the nonverbal before we ever even hear a word. I mean, don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, like literally.
Well, that's where you can't fake action was born from.
Yeah.
Is that for players, it's like, all I got to do is watch you for 5 minutes instinctively under high pressure. And it's everything I need to know about you. Like, you're not going to fake it. You're not suddenly going to think yourself into, oh, if I just do this, this coach isn't going to notice. Like, no, as soon as you're in a stressful environment, as soon as we squeeze you or put pressure on you, your cards are given away. You're going to go to your default of what do you unconsciously do? What do you do automatically? What do you do instinctively? There's no denying it. So as a high performer, you've got to understand that part, right? And I saw I should put that up.
Christy, my kid is a much better character than me.
Yeah, you know what? And that's the point. But that our kids are supposed to be a better version, right? That's what you want to keep evolving. That's one of the things that I love and I'm passionate about with coaching is that I want all of our players to become a better version than I am or than I was at their age, right? That's the whole point.
That won't be hard. No, I'm just
But that's the point, right? Is that we want to influence a better version, right? Hey, I know that when I was your age, I didn't understand these things, but now I do. So now I'm trying to help you understand here. If you can understand these lifestyle choices, if you can understand these are the things instinctively, these are the habits that are going to help you gain success a lot faster, that's the name of the game.
But something tells me none of our parents watching are the ones that would have been sitting.
No. Oh, no.
If you're watching this right now, then you're like, I can't believe that person wouldn't get up.
No, exactly.
Because you guys rock.
Yeah. Good job. But that's the truth, right? It's like, it's just most of the parents that are dealing with, again, who's here to watch us and all that stuff, it's people that are driven, right? You want to think, you want to be inspired, you want to do better, you want to be driven, right? Then there's a whole other sect of people that don't want that. They just tell me what to do, tell me where to sign the check. I don't care. I don't want to be involved. I don't have it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be better. And there is.
Well, then I think there's nothing wrong with being hands off for your kids in sports. There are some that subscribe to the knowledge of like, this is your experience. I'm going to take you to the rink. I'm dropping you off. I'll come cheer for you in a game, but like, But that's the part right there where they subscribe to that, but they're actually very conscious of, okay, how can I help you? Right. Okay. Yep. Okay. What coach is going to get? Like that's the one thing. Right. They're never hands off. Like the people that are very like, hey, let you be. They're never exactly. They're very conscientious of who they're surrounding their kid with, what kind of things they're doing. They may seem like they're hands off because to the child they might feel like, oh yeah, you don't. But the parent is orchestrating a lot in the background. Absolutely. A lot. They're very much involved. So yeah, it's the leadership part is a huge part. The influence is what are you influencing from your own life is definitely showing your child more than what you're actually saying. I think that's the biggest part is that why it's so important to understand your own behavior, understanding you yourself, that if you're genuinely, you care about your kid and you want your kid to have the best and you want your kid to have good habits, you can't tell your kid to eat well and you don't do it too. It's the way with players today. I can't tell you to be
calm on the bench or do certain things if I don't do that, right? I can't expect that out of you. Like with my players, I'm always talking to them about, making sure they're clear of my intentions of if I do certain things and I react a certain way, I'm always clear of that, right? It's and sometimes it's just crazy things happen that just don't happen. Like you get thrown off a bench, and that was crazy, right? That there's.
I was gonna bring it up, and I thought I'd be true.
Oh, that was nuts! No, that was nuts. Yeah, I got thrown off at the last event we had done with the 2014 last game. I literally got thrown off the bench for calling the referee a beauty. Literally, it was nuts, right? So like reaction-wise, I could have reacted and went nuts. Most coaches in the same position would have went bonkers on this referee.
Oh yeah,
bonkers. Like any coach that's a high level, junior, Division I, college, whatever it is, professional, would have absolutely reamed this guy a whole new asshole straight up. Would have lost it on him because it was so disrespectful to the game. It was so ridiculous what he was doing. And it just, again, what message you sent into the players, right? And so that was a tough one, a tough pill to swallow. Like, stay cool, go out. I tried to kind of like do a video of him afterwards of like, but it was just like, what are you doing? And that was the other part, the influence, right, in that situation, which it was nuts of like, so basically what ended up happening was the referee, we kind of got it there. I was just like, dude, you're a beauty. Like I just basically saw it of like, you're a beauty. And it was just like literally like just the calm of like, we got into it on the first thing of like, you didn't see that he grabbed the stick because he called a penalty. And I basically said, I was like, you didn't see that he grabbed the stick when he went down. And the referee looks and he looks at me, he completely dismisses like I'm some kind of nutbag and says, what are you talking, like just this cocky, what are you talking about, man? Stop, you're a joke. Literally he goes to say, you're a joke, like stop. And I go, the way he said it, it was so like ridiculous of that he just completely dismissed it that I was like, it calmed me down. I go, you're a beauty. Hey, you're a beauty, man. You're a beauty. Literally with that energy. And he goes, what'd you say? I go, you're a beauty. You're just a beauty. Boom. 2 minutes.
You should start wearing like the cops, the camera.
Oh my, exactly. Oh, that would have been unreal. That would have been unreal to post that up on social media and allow like this guy would have gotten scared. Like it would have been.
You should wear
it
would
have been amazing. That's a good idea, actually. I might invest in one of those. But
cameras.
You see him, the reaction of boom, and I go, you're seriously for what? For what did I say? For calling you a beauty? That's what you're doing? I questioned him. Boom, you're out of the game. And I just looked at him like, I'm out for what? Because I'm asking you about, because you gave me a penalty for being a beauty, and like you're tossing me out right now. And then I talked to another coach the next day or 2 days later, and the coach is telling me he was mother effing the referee up and down every which way sideways, and the referee called nothing. Same event, same tournament, and the referee called nothing. So it's like, how crazy? No, I don't think it was the same ref, but it was crazy to see the differences of same event of wow.
Sure.
And again, influence, right? To me in that instant, I just sat there and it was hard not to go nuts. But afterwards I go in the locker room and the boys are beauty. And they're some of the guys, beautician, they're smiling. It makes for a great story moving forward. And if this was my regular team in season, it would actually, I think it would have played off nicely moving forward.
Yeah.
But the influence in that moment was like one of those situations where it's like, man, I could go off and I want to go off on you right now, but it's fine. Just, it's what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. And it was a clear message to be able to send to the players afterwards and say, guys, you don't know. You don't know sometimes how referees will react and all that stuff. And it's crazy. You don't know. But that was, what a wild story. Another thing. But in that situation, had to hold myself back. Like Absolutely. It was, wow. And it's what it was.
It comes down, I think we should probably just tie it all together, right? Like I think what we're asking people to do is just be conscious about what you're doing.
Your own behavior matters first.
Yeah.
Always.
And that is going to shine through way more and louder than any words you're going to use with your kid.
Yeah.
And no one's saying if your kid is really training to become like a D1 athlete, that as a parent, that means you have to abide by like the nutrition. Like
exactly.
No, but if you made small changes, if you bring healthier food into the house, then that too is setting an example. Like no one's saying, because I'm like, hey, if you choose to play, that's cool, but like I'm gonna still eat me a hamburger and hang out, But like it's the little things that they might see, right? Like now all of a sudden maybe there's both fruit on the counter. Right. Like, so just little things like that to help them succeed, to show that you support them in what they're doing. But yeah, it's all about just being conscious to what your actions and non-actions are doing. And we all make mistakes, and it's going to happen. There's no way to be so conscious that it's never going to happen. But when it does happen, own it. Talk to your kid about it.
That's why the accountability is so important. You just have to, that's why it's important to know yourself first, study yourself, and know how you are. Because then you can adapt to situations. Then you can own it and say, right? Like, as an example, with an in-season team. If I have a full season team, the initial meeting, we're talking about, guys, this is what you can expect out of me. Right? There's going to be times I'm going to interrupt. Times I'll react certain ways, but I'll always be talking to you. You'll always get, the honest answer from me. I'm always going to be there for you. So just because you'll see certain things will happen on occasion, it doesn't mean that don't love you, not going to talk to you. So I get ahead of that type of stuff as an example, right? But that's the kind of stuff that when you know, and it took me years to be accountable. No, I'll react this way in these situations. I'll be like this. I'm not going to put myself in this situation. That took time to keep studying and become accountable to who I am. Then I was able to adapt and say, okay, who do I want to work with? Who do I want on my team? Who do I not? Who am I going to stay away from? What organizations do I want to be with, not be with? That's how you learn that. That's how you adapt to your needs based off of what you know about yourself first. So you can avoid putting yourself in positions that aren't going to be successful positions for you. That's the name of the game. And that's what the influence from a parental standpoint, coaching, all of us, is that we have to realize that what we're doing, the more we can create an environment around ourselves that fits our unique gifts, abilities, right? Genius, whatever we want to call it, the easier this stuff becomes. But you got to know who you are. You got to know what's best for you. If you know eating right gives you a lot of energy, gives you clarity, makes you feel better, then it's your fault. And if you're not committing to eating right because you know better, you're like, yeah, I know when I eat right, I feel so much better, lighter, cleaner, all that stuff. But when I don't do it, I feel more stressed out, tired, all that stuff. Well, that's on you. Making those choices makes you feel a certain way, and then it makes you parent a different way. It makes you act a certain way. If you know that, that's on you. Sleeping, same thing, all that stuff, we know there's certain things that well, to me, this affects me a certain way, so I have a choice. Either I consistently live in non-negotiable and say, this is non-negotiable for me because if I don't do it, it's going to make me feel a certain way. That's on you then. But that's the accountability part. We'll make excuses. Well, I'm busy. I got work. I got the kids to take care of. I got all this stuff. We all have excuses. It's easy to go have excuses. It's easy to do that. But again, if you can just pick a couple things that but this is at the source of my excuses, it's amazing how much you can change. It's crazy.
Yeah. And even like with the interactions with coach, right? So it's like as a parent, I don't mean as a player, but like, so there's the parent where you're wanting to set a good example for your kid. And I go back to where we started the top of the show off with the story about the parent and the coach. Like, being vulnerable, being honest isn't a bad thing.
Right.
And instead of just throwing coach, like in this particular example, a boatload of attitude about it and demanding, if he was just honest, it was like, look, my kid's a goalie. It's not like there's so many options. This is the time of year everybody's picking somebody up. I'm really stressed about making sure he's in a place that's going to help develop him. And you're telling me you need 5 more days. It's really just making me nervous. I'm afraid I'm putting my kid in a bad place if I wait another week and don't do anything about it. Can you understand where I'm coming from here?
Yeah.
And I bet you that coach is like, I feel you, man. And they're going to at least, they may not make the decision.
And not just that.
But they're going to.
But like, if I heard that from a parent, now I want the kid. Now I'm like, oh, that's how you do your business? Okay.
Right.
Like it excites you as a coach. You're like, wow, that's the influence you're giving. And like, that's pretty cool that you reacted that way. I've had that plenty of times of like, by talking to the parent, I'm like, the kid may have not been the top player, but by talking to the parent, I was like, oh, I can work with this. Okay. This is what the influence is. Good kid. We can work.
Vulnerability and honesty. Because if you are fired up talking to your coach, it's not because you're like a D-bag. It's because you have a genuine fear, concern, you're scared, whatever it is, and share what that really is instead of masking it in a bunch of anger.
Yeah.
Because you'll both be in a better situation. And then if you're honest and vulnerable and the coach still doesn't want to like help you out, then you know.
Well, then
like,
you know that's
then you know. But if you're just masking it with fear and anger and you're just like throwing attitude, we talk about all the time, right? Your tone is everything. You know, and even if you catch yourself, hey man, sorry, I'm hyper right now. I'm just worried about my kid finding a spot for next season. Like it changes everything.
It does.
And if it doesn't, then you know it's a bad spot. But like, So I wanted to kind of circle back to that, because it's not just the nonverbal and what we're doing at home. It's also on the times you do have to talk to coach, or you do have to go talk to the organization. Like you as a parent, like just be conscious before you go in. What is the point you really want to make?
Oh, yeah. Mama D, I love you,
Hey,
Mama D. What's up?
Butch, I see. Can I buy a couple of shirts? That's coming soon, my friend. We're working on that. I know he's been asking me for shirts. Like, I just sit around and do nothing all day. And
I've been telling the CEO for quite some time, because people keep asking me for probably 2-3 years now, where can I get a shirt?
Just take one off your back and have it. We will let you guys know when the shirts are available. Also, big announcement coming this afternoon. We have our summer program lineup headed your way. So check your email, check our page. We'll be putting that out shortly. For those programs, and we'll be talking about it more. We are not here next Thursday. Where are you? You'll be in Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
For our 10-year anniversary, but I won't be there. I'll be here. Thank you.
Say thank you, hockey.
Thank you, hockey. I'll be spending my 10-year anniversary at home with my kitties while you were in Toronto. What's the name of that restaurant?
With someone else's kitties.
Moxie. No, you'll be at Moxie Blue. Moxie Blue? Moxie?
Yeah, Moxie.
Yeah. Have a martini for me while you're there. 10 years. Ching.
I'll FaceTime you.
That's great.
We can we could have a martini together.
Yeah. If I'm still standing by the end of the day. But our tryouts are literally like the Hunger Games. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not. It's only funny because it's
true. Yeah. No, it's craziness. I know it's crazy. It's wild how nutty everything gets. But it's, again, the more you can be, again, mindful approach. The more you understand yourself, the easier the process becomes. But in order to do that, it takes work. It takes work. That's the future now. You have to. Mindset Performance is here. It's not going anywhere. It's not for people that are a mess. Like it's for the people that.
Everybody.
It's for everybody.
It is for quality of life. It's not just athletes. This is, parents and business folks, and it doesn't matter what you do. It is a quality of life thing. If you want to enjoy your life more, learn to understand what's happening here and how you can manipulate it. And it does exist. We follow systems that we've been taught, science, because it's true. It's a muscle that you can train. It is truly that simple. But thank you guys so much for joining us this week.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Check your email on the page later for our summer announcements. We had Coach Vinny live in a few locations this summer on the ice. And then, of course, our summer program coming at you soon.
Oh, yeah. Please share.
Yes, please share, comment, love, spread the good word, because we really are out to change the culture of youth hockey. I mean, we really want this to be commonplace. People thinking in this manner, people acting,
being accountable and learning how to adapt. That's at the core of what this is.
Creating a healthier environment.
Yes, it's the ultimate accountability tool. This is the ultimate accountability skills right here. Simple as that.
Thank you guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
See you.